Did you know that, according to statistics from the National Institute on Aging, more than 42% of men over the age of 60 experience a decline in vitality? What is even more concerning is that nearly 60% of them do not realize the root cause is improper nutrition or a lack of essential minerals. You may have felt the same way, waking up in the morning without any excitement for the day, feeling tired easily, having trouble sleeping, and sometimes feeling disconnected from loved ones. Even though no specific illness can be identified, these changes happen very slowly, which leads many people to believe they are just a normal part of aging. However, the truth is that your body is still functioning. It simply needs the right kind of reset. And sometimes what you need is not in a prescription or a clinic, but right there on your table. 3 simple types of nuts that can powerfully restore vitality in later life. If you are over 60, please watch this entire video. It may change the way you take care of your health every single day. Which country are you watching this video from? Leave a comment below. Are you experiencing something similar? Share your story so others can join the conversation too. After the age of 60, a man's body begins to experience subtle yet noticeable changes, especially if you take the time to listen. Some people say that waking up in the morning no longer feels as refreshing, even after a full night's sleep. Others find that just walking a few steps into the garden or moving their bicycle outside already makes them feel tired. Some may remain silent, saying nothing at all, yet deep inside they feel drained, unmotivated, and no longer share the same sense of connection with their partner as they once did. These signs are very common, but they are often overlooked because many people assume they are simply part of getting older. In reality, that is not the case. According to Dr. Ellen Wine, one of the leading experts in urology and male hormones at the University of Pennsylvania, there are 3 key signs you should never ignore. First is prolonged fatigue and difficulty recovering, even after light physical activity. Second is noticeable mood changes, such as irritability, apathy, or losing interest in things that once brought joy. Third is the feeling that your body is slowing down, with delayed responses, both physically and mentally. These are signals that your endocrine system is slowing down, that male hormone levels are gradually declining, that blood circulation is becoming weaker, and that vital organs such as the prostate and urinary system are being affected. What makes this concerning is that the process happens quietly and without pain. So many people do not recognize it until their health has significantly declined. But for that very reason, if you can spot these signs early, restoring your body's natural balance is entirely possible. Your body has never stopped working. It is simply waiting for the right signal to start again. And sometimes that signal does not come from a pill or a doctor's office, but from a small daily food choice. The first nut is walnut. On the journey to restoring vitality in later life, blood circulation is the place to begin. When blood does not circulate properly, every organ in the body is affected. You may feel less mentally alert. Your limbs may tire easily. Your sleep may become restless. And even your private functions may not be as responsive as they used to be. This is a direct result of reduced production of nitric oxide, a key molecule that helps blood vessels expand so that blood can flow more easily. Unfortunately, after the age of 60, nitric oxide levels in men can drop by more than 50% compared to their peak years. But your body is not giving up. It is simply lacking the raw materials needed to restart, and walnut is one of the most powerful natural sources that can support this process. Let me tell you about John, a 72-year-old retired mechanic living in Ohio. He used to live a very active life, but recently began to feel exhausted after just a short walk. John told me he no longer woke up feeling refreshed or healthy like he used to. His test results were all normal, but he still felt as if he was slowly losing something important. I asked him about his daily meals and realized that his diet was filled with fast food, lacking healthy fats, and especially missing nuts. I gave him a small bag of walnuts and told him to eat 5 to 7 pieces each night after dinner. no roasting, no added salt or sugar, just plain natural walnuts. 2 weeks later, John came back with a gentle smile. He said he wasn't sure why, but that morning he felt different. His body had more energy. His mind was clearer. His sleep had improved, and even his wife noticed the change. What happened? It was the synergistic effect of a nutrient called arginine found in walnuts. This amino acid stimulates the body to produce nitric oxide, which helps dilate blood vessels and deliver blood to the areas that need it most. In addition, walnuts contain a high amount of healthy omega-3 fats, which reduce inflammation inside blood vessels, protect cardiovascular health, and improve the delivery of oxygen to cells. They also contain natural melatonin, a hormone that helps regulate sleep. As you know, deep sleep is when the body restores itself, rebalances hormones, and supports the endocrine system. That is why a small handful of walnuts each evening is not just a snack. It is more like a gentle ritual to support your circulatory system. And once blood begins to flow more efficiently, everything else starts to improve too. You will feel more alert, more energized, and even more at peace in your mind. This is the first step in restoring vitality in older age. And once your blood is flowing well again, the next question is, how do you maintain that energy every single day? The second nut is pistachio. Once blood circulation improves, your body begins to regain its natural rhythm. But that alone is not enough. Many men over the age of 60 have shared with me that even though they sleep better and feel more at ease, something still feels missing. That is because beyond circulation, your body needs the right materials to maintain steady energy each day, especially during moments when you want to feel strong, proactive, and full of vitality. This is why I often recommend one more type of nut to my patients. It is not only delicious, but it also has a profound impact on overall health, the pistachio. I still remember the story of Mark, a 69-year-old veteran living in Texas. Having been through the discipline of military life, he rarely complained about his health. But that day, sitting in front of me, he said something I could never forget. "Doctor," he said, "I feel like I'm no longer myself." He told me he could still walk normally, still drive. It still talk with his wife and children. But inside, it felt like the fire had gone out. He no longer felt excited. He no longer had energy when it was needed. His lab results were all within normal range. This only confirmed my belief that the issue was not a disease, but rather that his body was lacking the materials it needed to maintain natural performance. I advised Mark to add pistachios to his afternoon routine. He did not need to make major changes. Just 20 to 30 pistachios each day. He could eat them alone as a snack or mix them into a salad. 3 weeks later, he returned with a different posture. He was still Mark, but somehow he looked steadier, more confident. He said simply, "I feel like myself." Again, the reason for that change lies in the natural components of pistachios, like walnuts. Pistachios contain arginine, which helps improve blood flow. But they go further. Pistachios also contain plant sterols, which help reduce bad cholesterol and cleanse the blood vessel walls. When blood vessels are clear, oxygen and nutrients are delivered more efficiently to every cell. In addition, pistachios are one of the few natural foods that are high in vitamin B6. This vitamin supports the balance of male hormones and helps maintain steady energy. Pistachios are also rich in antioxidants, which protect cells from aging and help keep the mind refreshed. This is not just a snack. It is a tool for total wellness. What matters most is that you do not need to follow a strict diet or take pills by the hour. Just remember to eat a small handful of pistachios each day, and you will begin to feel the difference from within. When your energy is steady, you will feel more in control of your life. Your mood will be more positive, and even your family relationships will feel more harmonious. This is the second step in the journey of restoring vitality after 60. And the next step is the most important of all, awakening your sleeping hormonal system. The third nut is Brazil nut. If blood circulation is the starting point and steady energy is the next step, then the hormonal system is the deepest core that determines a man's true vitality in later life. Many men over 60 maintain regular habits, eat full meals, and show no clear signs of illness, yet they still feel strangely unfamiliar with themselves. They lose interest in things they used to enjoy. They wake up feeling sluggish and approach each task without motivation. This is not laziness. It is not depression. It is a silent decline in hormonal function over time. When hormone levels in the body decrease, every other system also begins to slow down. Emotions become more sensitive. Vitality gradually declines. Deep sleep becomes difficult, and the ability to cope with stress weakens. This condition is common, but it often goes unrecognized until it becomes more serious. I want to share with you the story of David, a 70-year-old man living in California after retirement. He thought he would enjoy his time gardening, reading, and relaxing. But within a few months, he began to feel different. Each morning he still felt tired, mentally foggy, and uninterested in doing anything. He told me he felt empty, as if the drive within him had disappeared. After ruling out other medical causes, I asked him a simple question: do you regularly eat any kind of nuts? He shook his head. That was when I introduced him to the Brazil nut, a type of nut that many people overlook, but that plays a critical role in senior health. The reason lies in its selenium content. Selenium is a mineral essential for activating and regulating the male hormonal system. Without enough selenium, the body cannot convert hormones from their inactive forms into active ones. This leaves the endocrine system in a sluggish state, resulting in persistent fatigue, lack of energy, and emotional imbalance. What is concerning is that many people over the age of 60 are selenium deficient without even knowing it. The reason is that much of today's farmland soil is no longer rich in minerals, and modern diets often do not provide enough. I advise David to eat one Brazil nut each morning, right after brushing his teeth. No other changes were needed. 3 weeks later, he returned with a noticeably different energy. He told me he felt clearer in the mind. His mornings became easier to start. He slept better and woke up less during the night. He began to enjoy fixing old items again, reading each evening, and even called an old friend to go for walks in the park. The Brazil nut is not a medication. It is simply a natural signal that helps your body return to balance and regain the rhythm of life you once knew. When hormones are stable, the mind becomes clearer, vitality is reactivated, and the sense of living feels whole again. This is the final piece that allows your body to function as a complete and harmonious system. But if you want to know what happens when all three of these nuts are combined, the next part will surprise you. Once you have experienced the benefits of walnuts for blood circulation, pistachios for sustaining energy, and Brazil nuts for supporting hormones, combining all three can lead to results far beyond expectations. These nuts do not just add their effects together, they also complement each other, helping every function in your body operate more smoothly and in harmony. This is what I call a complete natural restoration. I once met a patient named Michael, a 70-year-old man living in Florida. He did not come to see me because of any serious illness. He came because he felt like he was slowly drifting away from life. He said that after his wife passed away, he no longer had much motivation. His daily routine became repetitive and dull. I asked him if he wanted to try a natural way to regain his vitality. When he said yes, I started by having him eat walnuts in the evening and pistachios in the afternoon. 2 weeks later, he returned and said he had noticed some improvement. He was sleeping more easily and felt more alert in the mornings. But he still felt like something was missing. I suggested that he add one Brazil nut in the morning, right after brushing his teeth. 1 month later, He returned to my office with a warm smile and eyes full of life. He said he had started to enjoy gardening again, reading, and even calling an old friend to go for afternoon walks. He no longer felt sluggish in the morning. His body no longer felt heavy and slow. Everything had changed, thanks to 3 simple nuts. Michael's story is not an exception. When these 3 nuts are combined, each one plays its own role, but all work toward the same goal, naturally restoring a man's body in later life. Walnuts help open the blood vessels, improving the flow of oxygen and nutrients. Pistachios maintain steady energy, balance emotions, and support the endocrine system. Brazil nuts activate internal hormone production, helping you regain clarity and motivation when taken together. The nutrients in these 3 nuts support each other for better absorption. For example, when blood circulation improves with walnuts, the body becomes better at absorbing selenium from Brazil nuts. When hormones are activated by Brazil nuts, the nervous system becomes more responsive to vitamin B6 from pistachios. All of this creates a closed loop where your body can restore itself, rebalance naturally, and regain that inner sense of wellness. This is not magic. This is simply a return to your body's natural rhythm, one that may have been forgotten over time. And you can start again with nothing more than a small handful each day. Once you have selected the 3 nuts that support senior health, proper use and storage also play an important role in ensuring both effectiveness and safety for your body. First, you should choose raw, natural nuts. They should not be roasted with salt, coated in sugar, or mixed with butter. The closer the nut is to its natural state, the more it retains its original nutritional value. Walnuts and pistachios should be stored in an airtight container, placed in a cool, dry place, and kept away from direct sunlight. If you live in a hot or humid climate, storing them in the refrigerator can help maintain their crispness and prevent the oils from turning rancid. As for Brazil nuts, because they contain a very high level of selenium, you should only consume 1 nut per day. Eating too many may lead to excess mineral intake and unwanted side effects. If you have thyroid issues or are currently taking medications, it is best to consult your doctor before using them regularly. In addition, if you have a history of nut allergies, begin with a small amount and observe how your body reacts. Consistency is key. Using a small amount daily is more effective for absorption than consuming too much at once or taking long breaks in between. Think of these 3 nuts as part of your daily self-care routine. Simple, but complete. After turning 60, many people believe that vitality, alertness, and emotional well-being will gradually fade as something inevitable. But the truth is, your body has never stopped trying. It has simply been quietly waiting for the right care to restart itself from within. In today's journey, we have explored 3 types of nuts that may seem ordinary, but each carries a clear and lasting ability to support recovery. Walnuts help improve blood circulation, allowing your organs to receive the oxygen and energy they need. Pistachios help maintain steady energy, improve mood, and support hormonal balance in a natural way. Brazil nuts awaken the aging hormonal system, bringing back a sense of clarity, positivity, and initiative each day. When all 3 nuts are combined, you are not just adding nutrition, you are rebuilding the foundation of your health from circulation to hormones, from physical strength to emotional balance. The best part is, you do not need to make major changes. Just start with something small. A handful of walnuts in the evening, a small scoop of pistachios in the afternoon, 1 Brazil nut after brushing your teeth. These simple actions can lead to changes that may truly surprise you. If you found today's message helpful, please subscribe to the channel so you won't miss future guidance on herbs, nutrition, and senior wellness. Leave a comment sharing which nut you are using or would like to try. so we can continue the conversation together. You deserve to live healthy, happy, and fulfilled at every stage of your life. And sometimes that journey begins with something as small as a single nut